Greetings, welcome to my review, formerly the MA Inc. review. That won't be the only change taking place. I'm not really going to do any more intros for a while, unless I have something interesting to say. If you're watching these, I appreciate it. I love movies, and when I can't make them full time, I need to stay plugged in somehow. So this is pretty much how I do it. If you like these, I appreciate it, and go ahead and show me some support by liking and subscribing. That way you know exactly when I come out with a new video. With nothing further, let's get to my review.
Watching Maniac Cop has been a new experience for me. Obviously, I was seeing the movie for the first time, but beyond that, this movie had a special something that I hadn't seen before. Being a low-budget cult classic, I had no expectations for it. I only had a burning desire to see it. I was in the mood for blunt violence and an honest movie that had no deeper meanings or subtlety. For the most part, I got it, but what I didn't expect was superb cinematography and directing. Each scene flowed nicely into the other, and the shots in combination with the orchestration was poetry on more than one occasion. The movie was expertly paced, and the scene changes were even cathartic. The premise? A cop is violently murdering citizens of New York. That's it. But think about the implications. If you were living in those circumstances, would you trust the police? What would you do if you were stopped? Would you rush to a beat cop on the street if help was needed? This movie boldly addresses all of that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The synopsis: Detective Frank McRae begins investigating a murder that took place late at night when a woman was getting mugged and ran to a uniformed police officer for help. Very quickly, McRae deducts that the cop did the killing, and after a couple more murders, he alerts the press against the will of his superiors. Finding a scapegoat in Jack Forrest, a cheating cop whose wife becomes a victim, both the mayor and the police commissioner are satisfied. But Detective McRae is not. Recruiting the help of Officer Teresa Mallory, the girlfriend of Forrest, they attempt to get to the bottom of a case that involves corruption at the highest levels. Released in 1988, Maniac Cop stars veteran 80s actor Tom Atkins, the mayor of low-budget horror, Bruce Campbell, and the man with possibly the most symmetrical case of cherubism ever, the one and only, irreplaceable Robert Z'Dar. Okay, quick mini-bio on this guy because he was cool. Born Robert James Zdarsky, Robert Z'Dar first became interested in acting while attending high school. However, he would receive a college degree, work as a jingle writer, keyboardist in a rock band, Chip and Dale's dancer, and Chicago police officer before making a name for himself as an actor and movie villain. Yes, he was actually a cop. I think that makes this movie even more disturbing. Typically recognized for the role of Face in Tango and Cash, Z'Dar was not a leading man. Maniac Cop was the only movie that he carried, and even that is debatable, as he was the, quote, monster, end quote, of the film. But he was superb. His face was not even shown in many of the scenes, but his movements and physicality were a force to be reckoned with. And when we finally saw his face, he wore his signature teeth-gritting glare, solidifying his place as a both convincing and terrifying on-screen presence. Robert Z'Dar, we're missing you, man. Z'Dar's performance in combination with the surprisingly effective cinematography and competent directing tips the scale when it comes to entertainment value. Screw the inferior technical quality. This movie stands as proof that you don't need to spend the national debt to make a quality film. Now I will say that this movie is easy fodder for cinema sins just as much as any other 80s movie. But it's a movie. Things need to be simplified for time, and even to play down to the audience. Of course, nowadays, with Google and it generally being the communication age, people know things. Lots of things. So, films, as a result, have become way more accurate, no matter what subject matter they deal with. In that respect, this movie is a relic and definitely does not compete with modern films. But who the hell cares? Honestly, who the hell cares? If you want to nitpick, then you're that person that everyone else in the room or the theater has to tell to be quiet. Save the comments about plausibility until the end of the movie, when you've soaked in the whole experience. Hey, half the plots even these days are unforgivable when it comes to plausibility, but it's a movie. And if you're a film enthusiast like me, you'll relish Maniac Cop like a gearhead relishes a fastback Shelby Mustang. I caught this movie on the Fire Stick. If you don't have one though, then buy it online. It's worth it.
As usual, I hope it made you want to see that movie. Again, this is the last time you're seeing my pretty mug for a while, because I'm not doing any more intros. I just want to concentrate on the content. So go ahead and take a screenshot of my pretty face. Oh my god, I'm a dork. As usual, I hope you enjoyed that. And remember, this is the last time you're seeing my pretty mug for a while, so be sure to take a screenshot. Alright, I have been a dork long enough, so I'm signing off. Goodbye.